There is a new player in the vibe coding game called Firebase Studio by Google. It's a competitor to Bolt.new, Lovable and Bolt.diy. But is it really worth using it? I will show you in this video 8 features of Firebase Studio and we will find out if it is worth using it and if you should test it out. So let's get started. Before we dive into the features of Firebase Studio, this is the Firebase dashboard where you get started. And as you can see here, you get this prototype, an app with AI, which is our prompting tool. You got some examples as we know from Bolt.new and other tools as well. You can upload attachments, and you also got here starting and coding app, which is not part of this video because this is default development and not prototyping with AI. So we will use the prototype and app with AI, and we start with a simple prompt, which is this one: create a web app for my YouTube channel called Do It Yourself Smart Code, showing a fancy start page with newest videos and a blog section, and I pasted my channel link. So let's get started with this, try this out and see what we get. And then based on this project, we can explore the other features. So this will take a bit. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, as you can see, this is the first draft, and this is also the first feature we see here. It's an app blueprint. So it always does at first a blueprint with all requirements, and you can then define your project here in detail. So it defined a landing page, latest videos, use blog sections, AI video summarizer tool, and we also got a style guide here on the bottom with layout options, icons, animations, and the colors. So what you can do is now start the prototype app, or you can also change this requirement. So just, I can do it again, click on this pencil icon here, and you can change the requirements. So we leave it like this for now and click prototype this app. So it's now start implementing the app. As you can see the code here on the left side. The current file, it is changing. And it now iterates over all files. It's also checking for errors and iterate, as you can see now, checking for errors. And then it goes and iterates until they are fixed. And yeah, I think it will be finished in a few seconds. And then we can go on. Okay, it's now done. As you can see, here's a simple web app it built. It's not really nice in my view, so it's very basic. It also shows here an issue. Let's see what this is. Okay, the YouTube API key is not set. That's okay. We didn't provide anything. But as you can see also here, we got an AI integration, and you can now directly generate a Gemini API key. So let's try this out. How to generate Gemini API key, which is then used within the application to do AI stuff. So in this case, for the AI summarizer, which will not work yet now, I guess, because we need the YouTube API key as well for the analytics. And I don't have one yet, but it doesn't matter. This case for showing the features. Okay, it added it now, refreshed. So this is fine. Okay, before we go on to the next feature, I want to quickly show a comparison between Bolt.new, Bolt.diy, and Lovable, because I created it the same prompt with the other tools as well. And I quickly move my browser over. This is the Firebase Studio. And this is Bolt.new. So as you can see, I put here the exact same prompt. Did not change anything. It's just a single prompt, no iterations. And this is the result of Bolt.new with a single prompt. it looks much better than the Firebase Studio in my view. If we go back, that's very basic. No, not really a good styling here. The next one is lovable. Same procedure here. I did the basic prompt here, did not change anything. And this is the result of lovable. It also looks much better. With example, with images, subscribe button, few articles. Yeah, looks pretty good. And the last one is bolt.diy. But we have to say here, it highly depends on the model and provider you choose. In this case, I use OpenRouter with Optimus Alpha. So it's a free model, it's a staff model. It's cloaked, we don't know actually what it is. If you watched my other videos the last days, I tried Quasar Alpha. This is not available anymore, and as it looks, they replaced it with Optimus Alpha, which is now the new free model with a 1 million token context. So this looks also better than the Firebase Studio in my case. Maybe a little bit older style, but yeah, it's okay. At least it has some colors and styles. Yeah, I wanted to quickly show this to you, and now we can go back to Firebase Studio and take a look at the other features, because I think here's potential, even if the first draft is not very good from styling purpose here. But yeah, let's see. The first thing I want to show you here in the preview, and it's also our next feature, feature number 2, is the select inspector. So here on the top, you got the select icon, and you can now directly select here the elements within the preview, which is pretty cool. And then you can do a prompt directly here to change something. Change the title to news from today. Then you can prompt it, and as you can see, it will now change this part. Hopefully just this part, but let's see. Yeah, and it worked. So that's a pretty cool feature. Okay, the next cool feature we don't know from other tools, or at least I don't know from other tools, is drawing and Scribble tool you can find here in the middle bottom. It's called Annotate here. And it opens a canvas, and you can now draw directly within this canvas, which represents the website or the web app it builds. As you can see, it's not very good quality, but yeah, I think they will improve it over time. And you now got here the possibilities to directly draw with this stuff and add text. So let's try it out and add here. It's here. We can't see it because the color is a little bit bad. Now it's better. Okay, so you can add text here, or click number 8 on your keyboard, and then we can write here something. Let's just do some text here, change it to S. So if you like such content, let me know in the comments. So we want to do this in the footer as text, and we want also draw a line here. And now we can give some instructions as well. So implement the drawing as footer, center everything, and send it. Okay, it now prompted it with the canvas as image attachment, and hopefully it will implement as we defined it. Okay, we got an error here, so let's just try again. Looks like it did not work in this case. I don't see the footer. Let's try again and see if it can fix it. Okay, this didn't work very well. It just did a generic footer, but did not use the thing in a canvas, so it's a little bit buggy. So, but I guess they will improve it in the future. I think it's a very good feature if it really works. Let's try another thing here. Let's draw a box here and say add a YouTube video here. Let's give it a link to a YouTube video. And let's see how this works. Got an error again. Okay, it added now a video, but not on the position we draw here in the image. So it should be here. But yeah, as said, this is a very beta feature. As we can see, it needs some improvement. But anyway, I like the feature. The next feature I want to show you is the phone preview. What we don't know from others, I guess, at least I don't know. Just from Bolt.new, they have the Expo feature where you can build mobile apps with it. And by the way, I heard we get this feature soon also in Bolt.diy, because one developer is working on it and I already saw a draft. But yeah, let's check this out here as well. And you can do this by going here on top and click share preview link. And then you get this QR code. I took my phone. I take my phone, scan it. And then I can hopefully show you. Yeah, it's working. As you can see here, I quickly show you. You can see the app right now here on my phone. Yeah, it reloaded. Perfect. So this is working pretty nice. So yeah, a pretty nice feature to quickly test how your website looks on the phone and not just with responsive on your desktop. The next feature is the code editor. You can go to it here on the top right, where it says switch to code, or this code icon. Let's click this. And you now get a full-blown code editor here, as you may know from Visual Studio Code or something like this, or Cursor or Windsurf. So you got a full IDE here with Gemini integration, so you can also chat with your code. You see here a preview, you got here the Gemini chat, and we can now, let's do a prompt here. We have the README open, write proper README. Let's just try this and see if it works. Okay, it needs more details from us. Let's say do a full description of the features of the application within the readme.md file. Okay, as you can see, it's now preparing the file changes. It does a suggestion here. We can review it. And if we like it, we can update the file. So this is pretty much working as Cursor or Windsurf or the other AI IDEs. Okay, you can toggle this here on top as well. So, or you not toggle, but you can use Gemini directly here for your code. So let's maybe select here any file, and then you can also select some code here. Click this icon here on top, and for example use explain selected code, or you can do other stuff with the code. Let's just click explain, and it will now explain this part, so just the part we selected. The next feature I want to show you is the Gemini Pro. So we don't check it out now, but I quickly want to show you that it's possible to change to a better model, because I think here is Gemini 2.0 in use as built-in model, as you can see here on the bottom. It doesn't show, but you can also use other models if you provide your own API key. So you can click one here, it redirects you to the settings tab, and you can now provide your Gemini API key, and then you are able to use the 2.5 Pro, for example, or the Flash models, and maybe in the future other models, which are better than the standard model they use here. So if you get bad results, that's an option to improve. The next feature I want to show you is source control, also known as Git. In this case, you can find it here on the left side on this icon. If you hover it, it's source control. You can see here all your changes. You can commit and push them. And you can see here on the bottom your source control graph with all your changes. So you can add your remote repository here, for example on GitHub, by clicking here on the 3 dots, remote, and add remote. Then it opens here this prompt and you can add remote from GitHub. Just allow it, do all the connection stuff, authenticating, and then you can use it. The last feature I want to show you is the integrated terminal. We also know from other solutions like Bolt.new and Bolt.diy, and you can reach the terminal here by going to the menu, terminal, and new terminal, and you got a full-blown terminal here as well. So let's check the node version, for example. It's 20, same as Bolt.new and also Bolt.diy since a few days, I guess. So they switched it from 80 to 20. And yeah, you can all do all your stuff you need and know from the other tools as well here, and maybe even more because it's a full-blown terminal, as you know, from Visual Studio. And you can also run here tasks and other stuff you know from Visual Basic Studio. What else do we got here on the left side? We got extensions, as you also know from Visual Studio Code. And you can here click on Firebase Studio, where you can integrate Google integrations directly from this menu. So if you want to add Google Maps platform, you can do this from here or deploy it to Google Cloud Run. Yeah, that's everything integrated, which maybe is a big advantage for this tool because, yeah, it has a lot of integrations and there will come a lot more, I guess, in the future when the tool improves. Yeah, I think that's it for the features here. Then there is just one thing left, and this is the publish of your web app. For this, you just have the option to deploy it to Firebase app hosting. So you can't deploy it directly to Netlify, Vercel, or whatever. So you just have this publish button here on the top right, where you then can deploy your app. So you have your project selected here, click next, and then you need also a billing account. Otherwise it's not working. So I will not test this out right now because I don't want to use my billing account, even it is maybe free to deploy it if you don't hit any quotas. But yeah, that's a disadvantage in my view, because yeah, it would be cool to deploy on Netlify or Vercel, for example, easily, as we know from bolt.new. And I also don't see a Superbase integration, for example, but I guess there's a dedicated one from Firebase, or Firebase as a database solution. I don't know this Firebase stuff yet, but yes. So with all this said, this brings us to our conclusion. So I think it's a very good first impression. It has a lot of nice tools. They need improvement, so it's a beta state. But yeah, I'm happy to see what it brings in the future. It has big potential. And yeah, what are the pros at the moment? So it's a very big player with a lot of integrations. It's free, completely free. So as far as I saw, there are no limits so far if you use the base model, so the Gemini built-in model. And for others, for example, Bolt.new, you have to pay unless you need less than 150k token, I guess it is. What are the cons? Yeah, you just have the Gemini and Google models. You can't switch to other models, but this is the same for Bolt.new or Lovable. They use Anthropic 3.7 in the meantime. And yeah, as I already said, you can just publish to Firebase directly, although for sure you can push it to Git and deploy from there, but it's one step more. Yeah, that's it for this video today. I hope you liked it, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this tool. Do you try it out? Anything I should test in the future? Let me know, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!